Hello and welcome to this video. In this video we're going to be talking about the wonderful world of owning your own business. I'm actually going to go through with you and teach you about how you can learn at least 80% of running your own business, because actually the first 80% of it we can do in around about 10 to 15 minutes time, whereas it's that last 20% which really is the difficult bit. But at least if you know that first 80% and you're understanding what's going on, even if you don't know the full 100%, you're going to be in a much better position for you to be able to learn how to run a business. Now in this one we're going to concentrate on a limited company business and having the assumption that you're going to be needing to look at a lot of different things, including VAT, PAYE, corporation tax and so on. So join me as we learn those first 80%, probably the most crucial 80% of learning how to run a business, and that make sure that you're in a good position to be able to understand the last 20. This video is one not to be missed. Hello, my name is Aaron Patrick. I'm a chartered accountant, a certified UK trainer with a fancy new logo, that QuickBooks Chap on the internet, and also head of accounts here at Boffix. Now, being an accountant, when it comes to running a business, for me, it's all about making sure that you keep compliant. Compliancy is going to be the key and the difference between making a business work and not making a business work. And in the day, if you're not compliant, then that business doesn't exist and is going to get taken away from you. It doesn't matter how successful you are. Now, yes, you can get yourself the opportunity to go out there and pay for experts to go and do all this compliance for you, but obviously that's going to cost money. And in this video, we want to be making sure that if you are spending money, that you are spending money in the right places and for things that you generally need to be making sure you're doing to keep yourself ready to run a business. So let's start from the beginning. First of all, you need an idea. So let's assume that you've got yourself this quote unquote £1 million idea, or it's just something that's going to supplement your income now, or something that you know could grow into something that can be more of a lifestyle business for you. Great examples of these is the opportunity to leave your 9-to-5 job, set up a business, have the fulfillment of it. Even if you're losing security and maybe even additional income, the fact that you're owning your own business can be an absolute game changer for a lot of people. So how do you get to that point where you can safely and comfortably run a business and making sure that, again, you know that first 80% of it, whereas the next 20% you can learn over the next 5, 4, 6 years, however long it's going to take. So first and foremost, you need to know what it is you need to be able to create a limited company. Well, a limited company is basically a company that doesn't just live as you and your business, but it lives on what's called Companies House, which is a public domain, which is somewhere that basically anyone can go into, have a look and see how your business is doing. So your first step is to go and get yourself registered with Companies House. Now, we've done a whole video on how to actually set it up, and actually we do a great little partnership with our friends over at Tide who can make that whole experience of setting up a business really, really easy for you. So use the links below, have a look and make sure that you get yourself involved in some of those ways in which setting up your business. But ultimately, what does setting up a business mean? Well, it means that you've created this separate legal entity which has its own set of accounts that needs generating, its own tax return that needs generating, and what's called an annual confirmation statement. Now, out of those three, let's go for the one that's going to come around the quickest and also be the easiest one for you to compile, and that's your confirmation statement. Now, to keep compliant, you need to be making sure that the information that's on Companies House is always up to date. And to do that, HMRC asks you to compile what's called an annual confirmation statement. And all you're really saying is that information that I'm showing on Companies House at this point in time, well, that's correct, and there's no issues or problems with it at all. So the annual compliance statement is basically you agreeing that that's correct and making changes if it's not. Things you're looking out for is address changes, director changes, shareholder changes, all those sort of elements of it. Again, we cover what all that means in our video about how to set up and start a business. So you got your confirmation statement completed. Fantastic. Now you're compliant for another year. But what else do you need to consider? Well, you need to be making sure that your company files a set of accounts before the deadline, and again, that's why jumping into Companies House is really important, because it's going to tell you exactly what that deadline is. And at the same time, our recommendation is to submit your company tax return also. Now, both your tax return and your company accounts are both formal documents that you need to be ensured are created accurately. Now again, we've put videos together on how to create them and everything else, and we've got more videos coming on how to make it as simplified as possible for you to create your own set of accounts. But ultimately, when it comes to actually worthwhile investment, a lot of people do find that just having an accountant to get that bit done for you is a very worthwhile investment and good return on investment in terms of making sure that you are compliant and your business is carrying forward. Now, these accounts themselves are designed to give you an insight into what happened in that particular period. They want to see the income, less the expenses, and give you a profit. That profit figure then goes onto your company tax return, and ultimately, if you have made a profit, that's when you're going to be paying taxes on it. So really, from your point of view, you want to be making sure that those accounts and tax returns are backed up by as much and as important data as possible. Because what information you have based on that year of income and expenditure will ultimately decide how accurate those accounts are going to be. So the next thing that I would always recommend is making sure that from a day-to-day point of view, in preparation for having those accounts and tax returns completed, is you have a really good solid set of bookkeeping. Now, again, bookkeeping wise, we've done lots of videos on this one. And also, the best thing for you to do is use electronic form of bookkeeping. Our recommendation will be QuickBooks Online to make it as straightforward and simple as possible. The key to something like QuickBooks Online is that you attach your bank account. If you're attaching your bank account, that means that data is already going into QuickBooks, already giving you the chance to assign it correctly and starting to do a lot of the hard work for you as the information flows in. Also, crucially, if you're looking to become VAT registered, then you need to have some software. So having a piece of software and finding the right software for you is a game changer. Now, we've got an e-store down below that talks all about how you can get yourself discounted versions of QuickBooks Online. So our recommendation is to go in, grab yourself a discounted version, and then you're off to the races and starting your business off in the right possible way. That software also gives you the opportunity to pay yourself and create yourself a payroll. And creating a business and starting a business, you obviously want to be remunerated in one way or another. Again, either this is going to be your main job or it's going to be supplementary income. Either way, you're going to want to look at how to remunerate yourself. Now, payroll isn't the one and only way of being able to do that. There are other methods in which you can remunerate yourself, including dividends. But you really need to be making sure that one way or another you're recording that correctly. And again, that's where software becomes really important. QuickBooks Online in this case. So in a nutshell, once you've created your business, always keep referring back to that company's house page. That's going to tell you when your accounts are due, when your confirmation statement is due. It's going to give you confidence that all that sort of stuff is correct. Then, as long as you've got some software behind you that's going to help you make sure that your VAT returns and maybe PAYE is filed on time, your compliance side of things is going to be all up to date. The final bits is making sure that from an admin point of view, you've got everything up and running. So you need to ensure that you've got the right insurance behind you. Or is that going to be employer's insurance? Either way, you need to be making sure you're covered for those scenarios in case. And depending on what sector you're in as well, you might have to have other insurance as well to be compliant. Speaking of sectors, if you're in the world of accountancy or something like that, you need to be making sure that you've got the right governing body behind you. So that might be ICAW, practicing certificate, anything like that. I need to be making sure they're up to date on a regular basis. And finally, at the very beginning and during this whole process, my biggest recommendation is to put yourself together a proper business plan. Doesn't matter how small that business is and how big that business wants to be, having a dedicated business plan will help you in every single step. That's going to keep you focused. That's going to make sure that you have everything all in line. And our friends over at Ferrilio can help you create the best business plan on the market. They're also going to be the best people around to make sure from a legal point of view, you've got everything set up. Contracts, making sure that you've got employees contracts and supply contracts, making sure you're covered if you are looking to make some sort of quirky decision in the way that your business is being created and ultimately owned. Having that great legal background and legal opportunity will be really powerful for you. So again, links below to Ferrilio and making sure from a legal point of view, you're all set. And there we have it. That's 80% really of what you need to know and do before you want to be setting up that business. The whole process does look daunting. One thing I would say though, is it doesn't matter how daunting it does look, is the fact that actually once you've gone through that first year, everything starts to feel more comfortable. Once you've got that first set of accounts filed, once you've got that first confirmation done, once you've submitted your first corporation tax return, Once all of that bit's done, then you start to feel the cadence, then you start to feel how comfortable it can be. And at that point, it's just then making sure that you've got strict and control in place to make sure that you can hit those deadlines so that you're compliant through the rest of the time. Obviously here at Boffix, we can help in all of those aspects for you, from setting up the company in the first place, to running your VAT, to running your PAYE, to doing your bookkeeping, and also from doing those accounts and confirmation statements. But also we have the right friends in terms of our partners, where we can help you set up bank accounts, we can help you make sure you've got the right insurance in place, and we can make sure you've got the right legal support with Ferrilio. Now has never been a better time to set up a business, no matter what type of business you're looking to set up. You've got support at every possible area for you. But if you can understand that first 80%, then that next 20% will take time, will take dedication, but I promise you it will get there in the end. My name's been Aaron Patrick. Let us know in the comments below. Have you just started a new business? Have you had any issues starting a new business? Is there anything else you think other people should be aware of who are watching this video? Let us know in the comments below, and I'm sure we'll do a follow-up video at a later date. My name's been Aaron Patrick. Again, it's been an absolute pleasure to do this video for you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, all that sort of stuff. The more eyeballs we can get on this sort of video, the more opportunity we're going to have for people out there to go out there and understand exactly what it's like to run their business. It's rewarding. It's definitely something that I would recommend for a lot of people out there. And it's something that with a lot of hard work and dedication, you can definitely find yourself a real gem of a business. Again, don't forget Boffix is here to support you. At least just subscribing to this channel, you'll get videos like this, which are going to give you opportunities to make sure that you are running that business properly. My name's been Aaron Patrick. It's been a pleasure to do this video for you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.